Hello and welcome to this analysis. Now, today I've covered Jubilant Ingrevia. It's a mid-cap specialty chemical company serving the pharmaceutical industry, nutrition, agrochemical, and industrial consumers. It's the world number two in terms of market share for acetic anhydride, lowest cost producer globally of pyridine, number two in market share in B3 vitamins and globally that is, and in the domestic market the number one market share for B4 vitamins. It has three R&D plants in Noida, Gajraula and Bharuch. It has 33 products in pipeline where from 2025 to 2027 they will be out in the market. It has a market cap of 7,664 crores with a return of equity of 12%. The trailing 12-month PEG ratio is at -1, making it a very attractive valuation. It has a healthy dividend payout of 17.6%, and working capital requirement has reduced from 130 days to 61 days now. However, in the last two quarters, the company has seen a decline in revenue, profit, operating profit margins all seem to be taking a dip right now, and that's been actually the case with almost all specialty chemical and chemical companies. Promoter holding is at 51.47% with a promoter pledge of around 3.5%. FIIs hold 6.35%, domestic institutions 11.17%, and the public holds a 30.17%. Among the largest non-promoter holding belongs to the Rakesh Jhunjhunwala and Associates, which is around 3.12%. Now let's have a look at the charts of Jubilant Ingrevia. And as you can see in the monthly, there's not too much of data since its listing of to March 2021, one solid up move and then a pullback all the way till March of 23, where we saw the entire market of mid caps and small cap bottoming out. But comparatively to the mid cap index and the other indexes, this stock and also overall the specialty sector hasn't done well, but I'll come to that. But this is what the monthly is. In the monthly, we can see a resistance around 488, 4 and 505, and support is at 540 to 440 to all the way down till 405. Now let's have a look at the weekly to get a much bigger picture out of it, since the data is not so much for monthly. And here you can see, first of all, the retracement which I spoke about has come down to 78%. And from there, Fibonacci 78, and there is an attempt to go up has taken place. We've seen a nice setup pull back, and now from the month of September till now appears to be either a triangle in the formation happening, and a triangle would suggest that the stock could do something like this, go touch this level or dip down from here, do one more probable dip to 450 to 430, and then try to do a breakout on the upside like that, complete its five legs of the triangle. However, if it's even a running correction, which means that the correction could be over and an uptrend could start, but for that we would like to see the stock sustain above first 515, then if we can calculate the upside. But before we go on to the upside, let's now look at the support in the weekly. Also, the support is at 465 and then all the way down to 420 odd levels. Failure to hold this 400 420 would then push it down to 380. Then this 78 Fibonacci, which would also act as support, and the next one would be coming down to 300 and then further slip if it were to continue a downtrend, because we've seen chemical industry stocks, particularly Navin Fluorine, UPL, Tata Chemical, do a lot of corrections. Some bounce, of course, we've seen in Aarti Industries, which also went through a major correction recently. Tata Chemical, also Pidilite, also we've seen gone sideways, not giving an outperformer performance. So the stock being a mid cap is also trying to do basically what the industry is doing. Now let's have a look at the daily. Yes, you can see the triangle impact. There's immediate resistance where we've seen from 12th February failure to cross 495. Managed to go, then it has that next resistance at 510, which I spoke about. Support at 450, 60, and then 425 odd, where if it is a bullish structure, then this triangle should end out there and turn around, or above 515 we see further up on bearish one. Like I already said, the slippages could be heavy below 400 and 400 odd, coming down to 375, 50, 300 and lower. Now let's look at a projection from a long term point of view. If it is a stock which has completed its correction, and it is, if it could turn on the upside, where could it go? But before that, let me share with you what it's looking like in the in the spread with the mid cap CNX 500 index. So you can see clearly the stock has been a rank underperformer, continuously underperforming. And like I said, even though we saw the market bottom out in March 2013 23, but this sector, this stock, and particularly the sector, was fumbling from September and down. And now from uh, January, we've seen some pullback, and now you can see this horizontal line, which is the resistance. Once it starts, the pair starts, spread starts, the ratio starts doing better above its 28 November weekly close, then it could push its way all the way to the 18 December, and then all the way to August. So ratio wise, uh, at that brink of trying to turn around and try to push its way up from here all the way, first maybe here, and then another push which could take it all the way here, where you can see out here that there is a resistance level currently out there, but that would be a good sharp possibility. So keep these pair ratios in mind. Now let's go back to the stock chart and try to understand what is the possibility of further up move. So if it manages to break above this current level of 550 odd, then the next resistance is around 585 to 625. This particular area out here would be something I would be then looking at as a hindrance, to pause the try to pause the fall out there, and then we'll see how it moves from there. In case it manages to sustain above these particular levels and tries to push its way up, I've tried to project using the Ichimoku price and element theory to look at targets in a new horizon. If we see that this particular move from the lows, all-time lows, from the star, where from its listing to this higher low in March 23, if it is something which is a big turnaround stock and it can go up and the sector can do well, what are the possible upsides? Or in a long term, please remember, this is not from a short term, medium term, from a long term perspective, would be 800 odd 75, then around 1150, 1200, and then 1300. But these are long term projections, provided the sector in the stock does well, does the potential continues to do well in this. Now a disclaimer that this is not a trading or investing advice to you. This is purely a native video based on Ichimoku and Fibonacci and chart patterns. Please do your study thoroughly before you take a decision of investing in the stock. And one more thing, if you like this video, please do like it, share it, and do follow me for regular updates on stocks, and from large cap, mid cap to small cap, and all that. With that, I end this video. Have happy investing to all of one. Bye bye.